Hello my scrappy friends and welcome to my channel today. As I play catch up, this is my share on the August Scrap the Boys challenge. We are playing along with the Kraft Plus challenge for this month, which is another challenge blog. I was part of their design team a couple of years ago and I really enjoy the challenges that they come up with. I shared the graphic a little bit earlier, but I clearly was inspired by the graphics, like obviously the pie charts and the circles and the pizza shape and all that kind of stuff. But I was also inspired by so I pulled out this photo because it's got the round of the bowl, but so obviously the orange is the pumpkin soup. And then I've got dark blue and I'm going to bring in some lighter blue as well, kind of an aqua colour. And I was inspired by the colours around the graphic on the design, like our Kraft Plus challenge, Scrap the Boys challenge graphic thingy. So what I'm working with here is a stencil. Thank you, Tina. I love it. And I've got some Distress archival ink here, and this is in Faded Jeans. I started by using the stencil and a blending brush and just doing two of those big darker blue pie chart colour wheel thingies. That's from a Natalie May stamp set by the something or other, Paper Roses. And then I've used another stamp designed by Natalie May as well, and done some just messy stamping in the background using that archival ink. Now I use the archival ink because it's permanent, and I knew that I was going to be doing some other stuff to this background, and I didn't want to risk those those pie charts losing their shape. So I've got some embossing powder here. I'm trying to find where I've written all my stuff down. That is by Colour Blast Be Arty, and I've used this stamp set not that long ago as well. And I'm using my Versamark, stamping that down, adding the embossing powder, and then heat setting that. I really love how this came together in the end. You'll see I've just added the embossing powder to the last of those, and I'm just going to heat set that. And you can see I'm working like in a vertical line, kind of in a bit of an S shape a little bit. And I really love how this background's come together in the end. So my photo's going to go there, and I'm going to pull out a couple of Distress Oxide ink pads. I'm just using my photo to kind of match those oranges to my Distress Oxides. And I can't find my bit of paper that I've got all my information written on. So we've got Spice Marmalade, and I'm not sure what the other one is. And Wild Honey. So I'm going in to the centres with the Spice Marmalade, which is a richer, more saturated orange. And I'm just adding that to the centres here, straight over that embossing. And then I'm going to come in with the Wild Honey around the edge and just kind of blend that out. I don't want it to be perfectly in the circles, but I kind of want it to follow that shape, if that makes sense. So I'm just blending out. I'm going to do a couple of layers and just keep adding the layers until I'm happy with the colour I've got. And you can see that in the centres of those little ones, I'm just pouncing my brush down just to get that colour in the centre without it going everywhere. And then going back to the Wild Honey again and blending that out. I really love how that's looking. So what I've got here is some paper towel, and I'm just going over, it's dry, I'm just going over that embossing with that dry paper towel. I did have to go over this quite a few times just to get that colour to lift. You can see right now it's looking quite green, which is not the colour that I used. But it's just a matter of wiping it off, and once the paper towel is like coloured, I just move to a separate part of the paper towel. you can get it so far, and then I find that it kind of loses its sheen. So I went in with my heat tool, a tip that I learnt from Jennifer Maguire on YouTube. So if you find that you have gone over your embossing and it's lost some of the shine and the pretty embossing look, you can just reheat set it and it goes back to what it was before, which is really cool. So some splatters. I'm starting here with the wild honey. I've just smushed that onto my mat, added some water and just splattering that around. And then I'm going to do the same with the spiced marmalade, I think it is. But I wanted to add some bigger, more obvious splatters of this colour. I really wanted that orange to be very like, hello, I'm orange. So using a different paintbrush here and getting some bigger splatters. Love the way colours pop on the Kraft cardstock. It's so fun. So yeah, I'm just going to add those splatters in, clean up my mess. And I think, yeah, I dried that off and that is my background done. So this did take me a little while. Again, I hadn't been well and I was kind of forcing myself at times to get in here and do some stuff. But in the end, I'm really happy with my finished layout. I am still working with the kit that I put together from my stash, but I did pull in this, I think it's called a Big Love Denim Heart. I love it. It's so good and it goes so well with my background. In my kit, I've got these Pink Fresh Studio puffy stickers, and I'm going to use the Love You as my title. If you can't tell, this is my eldest child, back from I think 2014 or so, and we were eating soup for dinner, and he said something, and I turned around and went, "What? Do you need a straw to eat your soup or something?" He was like, "Yes, please, Mum." My husband and I looked at each other and went, "Well, you know what? If he's going to give it a go, it's worth a go, right?" So we got him a straw to eat his pumpkin soup, and he did. He finished the bowl. So in this kit, I've got some 6x4 cards as well. This one was in the perfect colours, and it I feel like it breaks up that background just enough that it really draws attention to my photo. I've distressed the edges on those. I'm going to add in some of this stuff. Oh my goodness, I always forget what it's called. Cheesecloth. There we go. I'm just going to fuss with that a little bit, chop some off, add some more. Yeah, so that photo is from May 2014. Add some foam behind there. And you can see I've just scribbled the date onto my cutting mat. I'm just going to distress the edges of this photo a little bit, because why not? I do cover up almost that whole right side of the photo anyway. You can kind of see that my husband is there, but it's just not the best part of a person that you want to see in a photo, right? Alright, so I'm happy with this. It's a little bit tilted. I've added some glue behind that. I just want to get the placement of this correct without covering up my child's face too much. These birds are adorable, so I just had to include him, and he's just in the right colour. So I'm going to add in some foam behind these pieces just so that they stick. Sorry for my head. And I'm going to glue this down as well, because the glue just doesn't want to stick. Just a couple of little dots of glue on there. It moves anyway. So I'm going to play with some embellishing here. These arrows are from the stamp set that goes with this Vicky Bruton collection. I stamped them ages ago and I coloured them with some shimmery watercolour. I'm not exactly sure what I used. And so I'm going to stick those in here, one on top of the other, just as a bit of an extra detail as well. I really like it. I just like the detail, I guess. Like I said, I did muck around for ages trying to get things on the page. You can see quite a few things on the right hand side there that I tried. I am using this stamp set from Paper Rose as well, which is designed by Natalie. It says, be the colour in someone's day, and then I'm going to add this one, which I absolutely love this one. Weird is a side effect to being awesome, and I just thought that it totally fit this particular photo, because who eats their soup with a straw? My child, clearly. So I'm going to do some stamping off here, and at this point I went, oh no, I've mucked it up. Okay, quick, add some more in. So I just stamped off onto some scratch paper there, and then I'm going to come in here. I'm just moving it around my block so that I can get it in the right place that I can stamp without it being stupid. I'm going to ruffle up the edges here a little bit. I still haven't refilled my ATG. Using my tear tape from Spiegel Mum Scraps just to stick those sides down. What else am I going to do? I'm going to stick this down so it stays where I put it. And I'm almost done, I think. I've added my journaling there as well. Oh, that's right, I add a whole bunch. I wanted to really draw on that circle theme, so I've added in a whole heap of the enamel dots in blues and oranges, yellow. I'm just counting to make sure I've got the right number there. I even added in some white ones. These ones have lost their stick. They came off the sheet and lost their stick, which was annoying. I'm going to add some white India ink splatters. I'm going to cover up my photo. I find that just adding a tiny bit of water to this makes it just the right consistency to do some splatters. What am I doing? And off I go. I do go back in and clean off the splatters from all of the enamel that the ink goes onto. And that, I believe, finishes up my page. So, yes, I use my fan brush as well for some smaller splatters. So, Scrap the Boys Challenge this month is sponsored by the Kraft Plus Challenges. We're playing along with them this month. Super fun. I really had fun creating this. Yeah, you know, there's the challenge again for you. So I hope that you've enjoyed. You've still got to the end of the month to participate with us, to play along. Make sure you head over to the Facebook group. Everything will be linked in the description box below. As always, a big thank you for hanging around. A big thank you for putting up with my croaky voice over the last couple of weeks, for checking in with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed. Like I said, make sure you head over to the Facebook group for not only to load up your challenges, but to see the other design team pages. And I will see you again in my next process video. Have a fantastic scrappy day.